This conference will now be recorded.
We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Item 1 on the agenda this evening is the consent agenda with item 1A, approval of minutes from April 14th, 2025, and B, statement of bills in 203, 243, 48. I would just add, I would consider removing item 7 from the agenda. It's just not necessary this evening, and we'll do that later on.
Mayor, I'd like to find out why we didn't get statement of bills. In the email, in the packet, there was no statement of bills. Well, at least my email is there. Yeah.
Why don't we remove, and we can add that to the next one. So we'll remove 1B and item 7. If we have a motion to make those adjustments, please.
I have a question also. The draft agenda that I got Thursday, dated March 28th. And on the consent agenda items, it was to approve minutes for April 14th. That's not right. I've got it right here. When I got the agenda Friday, it was March 28th, and it was to approve the minutes for April 14th.
I would suggest.
It wasn't corrected on what I got.
So I'll just point out the reason we do the draft agenda is if you see any errors or anything that
I know the draft. What I'm saying is the date on it was March 28th for the meeting, but to approve minutes for the 14th.
And so I think it would be a great idea to bring that up before the meeting. When that draft comes out, shoot us an email, shoot staff an email, and we'll get that corrected instead of waiting until the meeting date. Because now we can't really do anything about it. But that would be a great opportunity on this.
And I agree that we should have a statement of bills. And the other thing published work. On Friday. And that's the one that says March 25th. That's the one that I got to my email. Because I printed it right here. So was there any changes made in it other than just changing that one day?
We just want to prove that tonight, and we'll put it on the next one. But we could send that maybe out to council even this evening so they can review it before the next, and then we'll put it on the agenda for the first meeting in May.
Well, I'll make the motion, and I hope I say this right. So make a motion to approve consent agenda items 1A and remove B and remove 7 from the.
Second. The motion from Councilman Shriver, second from Councilman Adcox. Clerk, please call roll.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Items approved, and we'll move on to item number 2, requests or comments from the public. If anyone here this evening would like to share requests or comments with us, you'll have 3 minutes. I'll give you a quick signal when we're winding up on time. Remember to start with your name and address, and just keep in mind we can't respond during your 3 minutes. No comments this evening. Moving on to item 3, consider adopting ordinance 1083, an ordinance amending zoning regulations pertaining to keeping of chickens and residentially zoned.
Everybody, good evening. As the city manager mentioned, this did originate from the dais, from this body, but because it was a zoning issue, it did go to the planning commission. The planning commission heard this item at a meeting in March and had some questions about how it might be enforced and what exactly it was changing in the animal code, in the zoning code. And we explained very simply, we brought it back to them, then, so they tabled it at their March 19th meeting, and then they considered it again at their meeting in April. We went through and answered the questions that they had. And so it comes before you to either be approved to support the recommendation, to remand it back to them. That's one of your choices. Or you can take an action other than the one that they took. That does require a supermajority. The other two just require a simple majority. Fundamentally, what this does is it adds 2 additional districts, zoning districts, where is the RDS, the sewer, and R2 districts. So right now, the zoning code does not allow for that, but if you make this change, it will be allowed for those 2 districts. Planning commission, again, they considered it, they recommended the ordinance to you, and so.
Would that still include your notes here that it would consider placing a cap on the amount of chickens as well for this updated?
The ordinance does not place a cap.
With that April 16th update, didn't we discuss that, or was that talked about? Placing a number of chickens? No?
I feel like it may have said that the planning commission considered that.
Oh, this is just the background. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I need to read my notes better.
Okay, in March, the planning commission did talk about it, and they brought it up briefly again at their April meeting, but they didn't make any recommendation in that regard.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. I was reading the background.
If I remember correctly, too, we have animal control that would police any animal like nuisances or if things were getting unkept or something like that. And that's why we scaled it back so it wasn't an arbitrary square footage amount.
That's correct. There's a whole section of the code that deals with enforcement that's already existing and take care of any complaints.
And would this resolve the issue that was brought before us, particularly the young man's chickens?
I make the motion we approve ordinance 1083, amending residential zoning pertaining to keeping of chickens.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Bishop, a second from Councilman Shriver. Will the clerk please call roll?
Yes.
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 Okay, very good. Item number 4, consider awarding a bid to Blankenship Enterprises Incorporated for the demolition and construction of 24x32 salt storage building within the city park and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Blankenship Enterprises Inc. for said.
you have item number 4, background information for you. I'll call on Brian Hutchison, Public Works Supervisor, to give the information on this. This is part of our phase 1, the building and the excavation that's happening.
It looks like the 28,000 is the highest bid on the list. Could you explain if there's a difference in the bids? Maybe I was probably wrong. Would it be possible for Wyandotte County, since they probably should not require, if they're responsible for the tornado sirens, to cover that $4,500? Like that, it seems like that would be their expense. So the new salt storage needs electricity to it, and we're not keeping it in the parking lot though.
Siren is just a side note.
Okay.
Right, so
Yeah.
that will be taken care of. And I think there was possibly the city may have by government didn't realize until they had to do something like that.
Yeah, Jack Ward.
Jack did.
Years. Yeah. I'm like, dude.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to award a bid to Blankenship Enterprises for demolition and construction of 24 by 32 salt storage building and associated construction-related services and amenities with Edwardsville City Park for $34,000. Authorizing city manager to enter into a contract with Blankenship Enterprises for building construction services.
Second?
With a motion from Councilman Malat and a second from Councilman Shriver, will the clerk please call roll?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I will have to recuse myself because we do business together.
We have
Thank
what we need though.
Yeah. As long as it's in the affirmative, it's in the affirmative.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you. And just to clarify which, I'm sorry, I probably read this somewhere. Which fund will this 34,000 come out of?
The same one as the building fund, it's property acquisition is what the city labeling.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, next up, item 5, consider awarding a bid to Arbor Masters for clearing and grubbing of trees for the Richland Avenue roadway reconstruction project and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Arbor Masters for said services.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, Council, you have before you the item number 5 background. Fairly simple. What we have is the Richland Avenue roadway reconstruction project, and this is the tree clearing in the right of way and whatever we've acquired as well. There's one section still under negotiation, but we're fairly close to it. So essentially, we went out for bids. This is necessary step to then relocate the utilities, which is absolutely necessary to get us a sidewalk and curbs and all the reconstruction things to keep this thing on track. And so the city this is a local project, meaning it's a city project only, and we went out for bids. This is a budgeted item within that bonded money. We bonded, we kind of earmarked between that 1.6 and 1.8 million on the projected side for that particular project. And this is a budget item at $50,000. The Arbor Masters bid at $43,550 to do all of the acreage of tree and grubbing. We recommend that's the lowest and best bid.
Brian, where'd the 202,000 come from? It's crazy.
Yeah, where did that?
From.
Well, I was hoping that when they did the 30 feet on the side of the road that they were talking about the whole city.
Well,
That gentleman was here at the bid opening, and he was just kind of wow. We had one that came in late after the deadline that was still in that 43 to 57, so I'm pretty comfortable that's what it can be different. How Asplin came up with the 202, I do not know.
he must not have wanted it.
We don't know.
How's our bat situation?
There's 4 trees over there that are could be ideal for a bat. There's no bats there right now. Once construction starts, then those will need to be removed as well, but it'll be past that when all the bats are out and gone. Won't need for them. But there is 4 trees in this area that will have to be addressed in a later down the road.
I don't look completely stupid. Could you explain what that situation is that I'm talking about?
So there's a type of bat that is native to around here that roost in certain trees this time of the year. You're only allowed to remove trees outside of a scope, and I don't know when those months are, that are not bat habitat. I think it's the hickory trees that is their bat habitat. But if you do have that, you have to wait till certain months to do that, to remove those. And there's 4 identified up there right now that do qualify for that. So we'll have to monitor those as we get later into the construction, but those were on this bid as well. They'll come back to do those at a later time.
I really appreciate the way you do your homework on these situations. So,
He did a study.
well, we ran into that on Kansas Avenue. We ran into that on Kansas Avenue improvements too. Actually had to wait for the bat season or whatever.
November through March.
The brown wing bat, probably the one that held up construction up on I-70.
That November through March is the cutting season. You don't have to worry about habitat. So then after that, you have to get a study just to verify it's not indicative, not very accommodating for that bad habitat, except for those very few trees. And once, if there's enough construction in that area at all, there's no way to reduce those.
With that, I'll make the motion to award a bid to Arbor Masters for tree clearing and grubbing along Richland Avenue as part of the Richland Avenue roadway reconstruction project. EDV 2024-02, $43,550. Authorizing city manager to enter into an agreement with Arbor Masters for said services.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Malat, a second from Councilman Bishop. Will the clerk please call roll?
Yes.
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 All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6, consider adopting resolution 2025-05, a resolution authorizing the city of Edwardsville, Kansas to amend and restate various agreements related to the issuance of industrial revenue bonds for the expansion project of First Jones LLC.
Mayor, thank you, Mayor. Council, you have item number 6 background for you. It's a pretty daunting looking material. However, we have somebody very competent that's going to present to us tonight, Bridget Morris, on council, Kutak Rock, and will be the stand-in temporarily, I presume, for Tyler Ellsworth, who's moved on.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here to see all of you this evening. Item number 6, again, lots of documents, looks daunting, but it's a pretty cut and dry situation. The company in this industrial revenue bonds, Herf Jones LLC, has rebranded. Essentially, they've had a complete reorganization and a new company name. So all of the documents need to be amended to reference the new company, Hercules Achievement LLC. So it's very simple, but a lot of paperwork and signatures. Apologies, but otherwise, very simple situation. Any questions?
So it's just basically changing the name.
Exactly.
There's no questions. I'll make a motion to recommend city council to consider adopting resolution 2025-05, authorizing the city of Edwardsville, Kansas to amend and restate various agreements related to the issuance of industrial revenue bonds for the expansion project of Herf Jones LLC.
Second.
Who you recognize?
We'll do Adcox for that one. So we've got Councilman Shriver made the motion, Councilman Adcox seconded the motion. Will the clerk please call roll?
Yes.
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 Wonderful. City manager report.
Mayor, I don't have too many things to report. I'll have a good report for you in probably by the end of the week, as I tried to do last Friday. Good lesson learning and so, however, we're moving on 104th Street, Phase 2 sidewalk, and that's one of our kind of bigger projects. We will be having a field check. It's been a long time to get here on 98th Street, Phase 2. You will hear some 98 Phase 1. We've had several landowners, property owners talking about their driveway. We just poured driveways over the last few weeks. It's been a constant kind of one every few days. Well, my driveway is not as wide or it's narrow. Why did you do this? That sort of thing. So it's a lot of explanation, but the documents are in good order. And again, we negotiated those things some time ago. So this is just kind of refreshing their memories about what they signed and that sort of thing. So you may be hearing some rumbles here and there on that. So those are the kind of big topics right now.
Thank you. Councilman Bishop.
I would like to address the citizens of Edwardsville about pesticides. I'm a beekeeper, and I would like to see people use granulated weed killer in their yards, or else spray early in the morning before the sun comes up, or spray at dusk because the bees are all at home. And it's very important. The bees pollinate about 80 to 85% of our food, and they're an endangered species. So if anybody could help me out with that, I'd appreciate it because they're very important to our survival. If they all die, we have 4 years left on the planet. That's pretty scary, I think. And, but they're pretty healthy right now. So, but it's, I know everybody's getting into the mode of planting flowers and doing all that other stuff. Just a little reminder, keep that in the back of your head. I appreciate that. That's it.
Very good. Councilman Millett.
Brian is still here. I wanted to ask him, driving around, I noticed that the park walking trail, is it kind of been due for a sealing to preserve it somewhat?
It is getting close to work to it is on the radar for some sealing and some crack seal going on. We're waiting on the pavement conditioning to help identify other areas that may also need that sealing to get a better price in doing it. The trail is laborsome, being so small, not being able to do it with equipment. So I think we'll get probably a better pricing if we coordinate that with some street projects as well. There needs to be some work down at the bridge that's on our radar as well. That hopefully you'll probably see this later on this summer, some asphalt work on that trail and probably some crack sealing first before we can.
Thanks for that. For your information, I get tons of compliments on your department and the efforts that they do for the city. So
Thank you.
Be congratulated on the efforts that you do.
Thank you.
I'm going to mention one more time, the audio in here needs to be fixed. I mean, it definitely needs to be fixed because when it comes up and says audible ineligible for me on the comments that I made last week, that's not acceptable to me. Number one, the word ineligible means you don't belong. It should have been inaudible due to microphone issues or something. So some of the comments that I make maybe don't think they're important to other people, but they're important to me. That's why I sit up here, is to try and make points and to try and help the city. So I'd like to have something done about this stuff.
Thank you. Councilman Schreiber.
Just a couple of things. Brian, hopefully get that tornado siren figured out. We may need that here soon. Scary.
It's plugged in, working out. Nobody's done anything.
Right, we don't want to hear it, but we want to make sure it's working.
Matt May did tell me that it has batteries that'll last
Oh, a
anywhere
backup.
from 72 to 96 hours. And I said, we can hold off and get power to it. I don't want it to be my 72 to 96 hours. So it will never be running on batteries. It'll have power to it. Like I said, we meet Friday. I anticipate Evergy, Jordan with Evergy is already on it. I would bet that it happens within the next 2 weeks to get power over. Everybody understands it. So
Perfect. Thank you. And regarding, I think, beginning of the meeting about the statement of bills and the dates and whatnot, and I remember several years, this is my fourth term up here, Zach would do this exact same thing, send out with the wrong dates. And I know what he was copying and pasting. And I need to be better about reading my stuff Friday when it comes out. I'll read it maybe over the weekend, but I would just shoot an email to Zach and say, hey, you got the dates, and he'd correct it. So I just think, if anybody sees that, but it's totally, Zach would do that quite often. He would do it with the parks meetings as well, because I knew he was just copying and pasting. So, and I had, and is it on the website about the cleanup day?
Yes.
Is it on the
Correct,
website?
yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Hot shot as well, right? Right. We've had the message out several times.
Gotcha. And how many, I didn't get.
More on that, Brian, while you're here. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We're putting out the signs, right? Again, one of our strategies last year, we got like really, these signs. This is
Right.
Cleanup day, get your stuff, right? So
Right.
we set those 10 or 13 of them.
Right. And I always have to back myself up. Not a lot of people get on social media, so
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why we're
surprisingly.
doing it this way.
So thank you.
I
Good.
just took possession of 18 new signs for May 17th.
Wonderful.
I'm watching the wind and weather right now. I think we got a little bit of time because I don't want to have to pick them up and take them out with the wind. I
Right.
think later in this week I'll be able to get them out. We'll have the message board set up at the intersections too, like we've had in the past. But I did take possession of new signs to put at 18 intersections around town.
Gotcha. Thank you. And that brings up follow-up, a permanent message board somewhere in the city. I mean, I'm kind of glad we didn't do anything down at the intersection just because of possibly what they're going to be doing. So I don't know, just keep it in everybody's back pocket, just because not everybody's on social media. And I think things are missed by people that don't have kids in the school or whatever the case may be.
I have to confess, I did all of the research, but I was ready, but I had heard that potentially they were going to do this intersection project
Well, I'm
several months ago.
glad we didn't do anything.
But it's just a possibility. We put the thing up in the right of way where we can, which is on that side where the drain is, right?
Right.
They would be doing some work there. They have to take it out and put it back in. So I just put a pause on the thing. But I miss it almost every day. I mean, I think we do have plans to see if the money allows to have some sort of message board as part of our municipal complex. So that'll be one. And then we figure out maybe there's a couple of strategic locations we can get out through the city, maybe more than one. So kind of they work in tandem. So it could be a different plan than just one. But that's a good location. We own the right of way already. There's enough space. However, we've got this construction project in the next 18 months that it'll be just right.
Not to burden anybody with any added duties, but I don't know, the citywide cleanup, we have a lot of traffic come in. I know in the past, we've taken that opportunity to hand out information to people. I don't know if the city wants to put together the upcoming dates, events, and it's just a good opportunity to hand out some information.
Have
If-
that planned out.
Oh, perfect.
Because ever grading, I think the mayor did it last year maybe, and was handing out kind of just a project updates and here's some
Sure.
things that are happening. So we'll have something put together.
Perfect. Great. That's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Adcox.
I have a question for Brian. Do we have any finalized plans for phase 2 of the city park?
She's asking about phase 2
Phase
City
2.
Park.
So, no, we're still looking at conditions of stuff out there. Phase 1, the green space did kick off. We're going to kind of move over a little bit into phase 2 with doing some sidewalks around the whole concession stand. That went to just because it made sense to do it now, but we're still doing some research and taking a look at the playground area, see what kind of condition it is. Is it able to be relocated, or does it need to be replaced? The age of it, stuff like that. So we're still looking into it right now. We have not said just anything still.
That's it.
Okay. So last Thursday, the UG had a special meeting. They invited the mayors to come down and just share what are your needs, what's coming up. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but just wanted to give city and council an update on that. I did bring sci-fi back before them and ask that they return that into their budget, as that is one of the very few things that reaches Edwardsville of our county tax dollars. I talked to them about the pet district and changing the charter so that only people who are paying that tax are voting on that tax. Where right now, almost half of that board doesn't pay the tax, but they vote on the tax that we all have to pay. And then the other thing I really addressed was removing pilot from our BPU bills. I never want to miss an opportunity to try to get them to stop taking our money and depositing it in the Kansas City account. So if you guys are able to shoot an email to your commissioners, I know Commissioner Stites is really supportive of all of these, as are a few others, but I email all the commissioners because they all have a vote on it. So that would be beneficial to everyone in our city. I was gonna bring an idea up that maybe we could talk to staff about doing. Other cities have done a Citizens Academy. Lansing does one in where one night it's open to anyone in the community can come, and like one night the police department will host an evening where they can come just have interaction with police, fire department one night, maybe public works, city hall, like every department. We could even have a governing body potentially if people wanted to come ask questions. But it would be maybe 4 weeks, like 4 evenings, Thursday night or something like that. I just think it would be an opportunity. We've had residents come and ask, hey, where can we talk? Where can we just get information, more dialogue? And that would be a great opportunity for them to learn what really happens behind the scenes in the city and understand better what's going on, get those questions answered in a more face-to-face manner. Citywide yard sale and sale on the trail were last Saturday. We had great weather for that. A lot of staff I know put in time for that. And so I wanted to take a minute and just make sure that we appreciate staff and everyone who participated and were involved. Wanted to do a quick reminder on the citywide cleanup coming up that Councilman Schreiber mentioned. If you have garage sale leftovers that are not just trash, instead of those going to the landfill, is it City Rift with City Union Mission will be here to collect donations. So if you have anything that is still usable, instead of going to the landfill, we'll have a truck here to pick up donations for City Union Mission. And Edwardsville Mobile Pantry is coming up. Sign-ups are open. So if anyone in here knows families in need of groceries, it's a great opportunity to get groceries at no cost for people in and around our community. That is on the Facebook page, I believe, and City Hall is great at helping for people who don't have internet access. Have a great evening. Good night.
Like, what was